Hello everyone, good morning, good evening. Welcome to our channel AC Cloud Trip. So today we are going to see about the ADF part 2. In part 1 we have seen how we have created how we need to create a Azure Data Factory service, and we have seen a few basic concepts of Azure Data Factory service. So why we are using the Azure Data Factory, so how it going to help, so what all the things we can do in Azure Data Factory. So those of theory sessions we have seen in the last class. So today we are going to cover much more things. First thing is we are going to see how we need to set up a Git repository, how we will attach our Azure Data Factory to a Git repo. Next thing is so we will see few other. A few other no options given by the Microsoft, like if any releases comes, so how they are communicating, through by Azure Data Factory Studio. And we do have a switch data factory option, and we do have a little settings option that will help us. So these are all the things we are going to see in today class. So without wasting much time on this one, let's get directly into Azure Data Factory Studio. So I already opened the studio. If you want to open the studio, you can just type adf.azure.com, azure.com. So it will open like this. So basically, this is how you need to open Azure Data Factory Studio, adf.azure.com. So here it will ask you whether you want to create a new data factory or you want to select from the existing data factory. So if you want to create a new data factory, just go ahead and create it. That's it. So if you want to select from the existing data factory, so you need to first pick the tenant as you did Active Directory. So which maybe in a company they may have a different Active Directory. So we need to select the default Active Directory, not a default Active Directory. Basically, you need to select the Active Directory whichever your data factory resides inside that one. I'm selecting this Active Directory. I do. You need to select a subscription. So in a real time scenario, you may have a different subscription. For a prod they have a one subscription. For a QA they have a one subscription. For a dev they have a one subscription. So you need to select a subscription accordingly. And once a subscription is selected, it will be listed how many the data factories which created under this subscription. So you need to select from here. I'm going for a easy cloud trip. I hope this was created right. This is the one we have created in the last class. I'll click on continue. So this is our Azure Data Factory Studio. I hope if you're not aware of how to create Azure Data Factory, just go ahead and see my last class. So there we have seen how to create a Azure Data Factory, what are all the configuration we need to give while creating Azure Data Factory. So those and all we have spoken in the last class. So in this class, so we will be majorly focused on how to set up a Git repo, and what is this update, what is this switch data factory, what is this show notification, how it helps us, how the settings, how it helps us. So information, diagnostic info, and we will talk about a few things also. So let jump directly. First we will see this one, and at last we will see how to set up a Git repo. I'm going to use Azure DevOps to attach as a Git repo for my data factory. So first we will see updates. So when you click the updates, you will see a lot of things here. So basically what it means. So basically whenever Microsoft is creating a new feature, or they are coming fixing any bugs in the existing ADF, or whenever they are creating a new things in ADF, they will communicate through by this updates. This is a very very important things we need to daily basis. We need to see what all the things comes up. So it will be very easy for us whenever a new scenario is coming. It will be very easy for us. It always good to keep us updated every day. So basically if you see here, they have recently done a comment out part of pipeline with deactivation. This is one thing they have done recently. So what? So if you want to explore more on this item, you can just learn more. So what they are basically, communicating with us. So they given one feature. Okay, they given one feature that we can comment out. So while rebaking or validating, so basically it's like commenting in a normal programming language. Suppose I have a 10 lines of code. If I comment and if I want to debug it, I can do that, right? So I will comment two line of code and I will run my code. So it won't validate the commented code. It won't throw error, for the commented code, right? The same thing they have implemented in the ADF also. So I will show you this one for example. What I'll do. So before that, what you need to do, this is very important. So I'll show you this one. Okay, and then next we will go to a switch data factory. So in a switch data factory, always you will find a more useful information. So like the current data factory information, basically what is the name of the data factory, what in which region the data factory has deployed, and what is the resource group, and what is the subscription ID, subscription name, and Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory, what is the default active directory where Azure Data Factory is deployed. So these are all the important information, for this metadata of this Azure Data Factory. And if you want to switch the data factory, yeah, at any time you can do it. So basically, you need to click another, Azure. This is my another data factory. I'll go, and if I click OK, it will, open the data factory for me. This is another data factory. Okay, so like this you can switch at any time. So I'll go back to our data factory, easy cloud trip. Okay. So this is the purpose of this, the switch directory. Okay. And the next, coming to a show notification, this is where, you will get all the things notified. Okay. Whenever you're creating a new services or new resources or new things inside your data factory studio. So you will get all notification, you will get all the things here. Inside this bell icon, so that you came to know so whether it is successfully deployed or it is not successfully deployed. So coming to a setting icon, this is a general thing. So you can go to a dark. This is depending upon the theme. Okay, I hope not much technical thing here. Language and regional format you can set it, and this is an important feature. So you always go for so by default. They will Microsoft is always release the preview feature for not only in ADF for every services they are providing. They will release the future and they will tag as a preview. So before getting into the actual implement maybe actual services. So it's a kind of preview. You can give a feedback on this preview. Oh, it is so this is missing in this no, this functionality is missing. The If that is missing means you can always give a feedback to the Microsoft, so that they can correct they can correct it, and they will do another release of the same feature. So that's the purpose of this one. But so you want to see the preview feature, right? So whenever Microsoft is releasing anything under a preview, so feature you need to see, so that always it's good to go for the on so you will get a lot more things notified whenever they are releasing it. So I will click on apply. So it will always refresh it whenever you change the toggle. Okay. Now it is on, so I can able to see all my preview features here. And this question mark. So basically, though I think these are all as a general thing. I don't want to go through it. The main thing I want to communicate the diagnostic info. If you click the diagnostic info, you will get a lot more metadata about this data factory. So the main thing is this session ID and a login key. I will explain you where we will be using this one. So just to, I want to let you know that these are the two things is very important. Okay, and coming to here, this is a feedback. So basically, you have given you are well. you always give a feedback about any feature. If you are experiencing, any if you're experiencing any problem, or if you want some more feature on top of that functionality, so you can always recommend Microsoft, so they will validate, and they will implement it if it is a good idea. And coming to my profile, this is how your profile information looks like. So here also you can have option of switch data factory. This is the same thing. So what you're going to do here, so I can go here and you can give all your profile information. Okay, this is basically the active directory. Basically, that you are under the default active directory. They may have a different active directory in a company, so you should be very careful in which active directory you will be working on. Okay, that's it. So preview experience is on. Yes, as I said, I'll be showing this one. Comment out part of a pipeline with deactivation. Right? I'll show you this one. So I'll just create, so these pipelines, everything I'll be coming, okay. So we will be covering, each and everything in a clear, crystal clear manner. Don't worry about that. My intention here is to show this update for you. So how you will, the things. So I'll go here. I'll create one pipeline, create pipeline. So I'll just add a wait activity. So this is what they are. If you right click here, inactive. See, this is how they are, releasing their preview feature. Inactivate. So if I click inactivate, so it is in the currently it is in the mode of inactivated. Okay, it is not activated. Even if I'm clicking a validate, or even if I'm clicking a debug, it won't throw any error. It's similar to the programming languages. Okay, this part is not part of any validation or any it is not considered for any run. While okay, I'll click on debug, so it start running. Debug is nothing but so I'm doing a unit testing on my pipeline. Okay, see, it is not run, it is it is in inactive mode. Okay, so it is not run. Okay, so even if you make a mistake on this pipeline, sorry, activity, it won't throw any error for you. That is a feature they have introduced in this preview. So you can also click a debug mode. This is I think you already this is also similar to the programming languages where you can checkpoint. So okay, so where you can use a checkpoint feature here. This is the thing they have, given the command out part of a pipeline with the deactivation. So this is how you can sit and read each and everything. So you will get a more option, so that you can implement in your real time scenario. And that's it. I don't want this pipeline. So what I'll do, I'll go, I'll go and delete this pipeline. I'll also go and delete this one. Okay. So whenever you are doing any changes, you need to publish it. That's mandatory. So these and all I'll be covering. Don't worry about as of now. Okay. So first, go to home. Okay. So today, so we have covered all these things. Okay. And now we are going to cover how we need to set up a code repository. This is very important part. So whenever you are developing anything, right? You are developing anything, you need to store in a repo, correct? Repo is nothing but is a storage, okay, where you can store everything, your development, everything you can store everything in your one place. Okay, so that is a repo that we call as a repository. Basically, repository. So repository, we have a two option where we can go ahead and store our code. One is a GitHub, we will call, and another one is Azure DevOps. So behind the scene, Azure DevOps is also using the GitHub. So basically, you should be aware of what is GitHub. I hope you all know what is GitHub. So it is a kind of a source control. Source control is nothing but suppose today I'm adding a new program. So tomorrow, if I'm doing any changes in the new program, so I don't, so I need not to create the same program again. So what I'll do, so today if I'm creating a new program, I'll go and store in my GitHub. Tomorrow when I'm coming, I will just pull from the GitHub the same program. I will do changes and then I will commit the, or I will save the save back to the Git repo. So it is kind of a source control, so where I can control my source code. Okay, whether it is an incremental change or anything. So from starting to the ending, I can see how many times I have changed it. So you can also see the number of saves you have made in your program, number of commits you have made in your program, both are same. Number of how many times you pulled the code, how many times you pushed the code. So these and all things you can able to see, in your in a very clear manner. So this will, always it good to go for set up a Git repository. Okay, so what I'll do, so before creating the some prerequisite is there before setting up the code repository. First, so I'll be go for Azure DevOps Kit. Today CI/CD is very much popular, so that's why I'll be picking Azure DevOps Kit. So if you go for an Azure technologies or services, of course you will prefer Azure DevOps. So it is life cycle management. Okay, so where you can control your source code, not only for ADF. You can control your source code for your front end. You are control your source code for any utility. You can do for anything. You can utilize the Azure DevOps GitHub. You can, and also the beautiful thing is you can do a smart release. Okay, so whenever if you want to do smart releases, and these and all things I'll be covering later. Don't worry about this one. So I don't want to confuse anymore. By giving a lot more information as the DevOps. So it is a big different topic. Azure DevOps a big and different topic. So I'll take, if you want to speak about the Azure DevOps, just comment. So I'll be posting one video on Azure DevOps. So here, the main part is you need to pick the type, whether it is a GitHub or Azure or DevOps Git. And the second thing is, so you can also connect your Azure DevOps in a cross tenant. So or else you can go for a default directory. So this is also a possible. As of now, I'm go for a default directory. Okay. Before creating this configuration, think about that. You need to have a Azure DevOps, correct? So what you need to do, so you need to go for portal. You need to go for a portal and type Azure DevOps. So you will get Azure DevOps organization. So Azure DevOps, you can click My Azure DevOps organization. So if you have already, okay, it will show you here, or else you can able to create from here. I have already my Azure DevOps, so that's why it's showing here. Or else what you need to do, I can also create my new organization here, but I don't want to create any new thing. So it's very simple and straightforward. Okay, it already shows in which default, in which directory you will be creating this Azure DevOps. Make sure your it's always good to have your ADF and your DevOps in the under the same hood, same Azure Active Directory. So it's always good to have that one. So here I have already created this Azure DevOps organization. I'm clicking here, so it will redirect to this one. So this is my Azure DevOps portal. Whenever if you're creating freshly, then what you need to do here, you will see a blank. Okay, now no, okay. First, you need to create a new project. So whenever you enter into this portal, okay, first you need to create a new project. So this is my project. I have created AC Cloud Trip. So I'm going for our project. So here, if you see the left panel, so it will give you all option boards. You can go for a sprint wise. You can this is the repo is the thing which we are going to see now. I'm clicking on repo. As of now, I have created one repo using cloud trip. Okay, it's a simple, it's a straightforward, you need not to worry about anything. If you click, you just a click and create, that's it. There is nothing much to talk about here. The actual part comes hereafter only. Okay, whenever you have a one repo created, so basically you need to initialize this main branch with a readme. So it will ask you, okay, whether you need to initialize it's a straightforward. You can go and click it, it will create for you main branch. You don't need not to create any branch, main branch. It will automatically initially with the readme document. So now my Azure DevOps portal is ready to connect with ADF. So main thing you need to note here, you need to go here. Okay, uh, you may get error. Okay, you may get error whenever you are connecting this DevOps to your ADF. So you need to have one thing to be noted, like one checklist. Basically, you need to make sure that you are using the Azure Active Directory. Here, if you go to Azure Active Directory, you need to connect your directory, basically Active Directory. So basically, I have connected to this tenant. If you're not connected to your tenant, uh, as I said, your both Azure DevOps and ADF should come under one tenant. Then only you can able to connect or populate it. Okay, you can also do for a cross tenant. That is a different configuration. You need to do that. So basically, you need to connect here. It's simple. You can click here Azure DevOps. You can go for organization setting, and you go for Azure Active Directory, and you can connect here. You can pop it here. So nothing rocket science, right? So once this setup is done, my Azure DevOps is good to go. Like it's ready for to connect with ADF. Now coming back to ADF. So I'll choose here Azure DevOps Git default directory. I'm clicking continue. So here it will automatically show if you are connected to the say correct default directory. It will show you the Azure DevOps organization name, and you need to select a project, Azure Cloud Rep, and repository. So this is a repository I've shown you. So see, I'll show you another. This is my organization. This is my project name. This is my organization. This is my project name. And when I'm clicking inside a project, you have your repo. This is my repo. So collaboration branch, so main branch, always collaboration branch is a main branch. So I will speak about what is collaboration branch, what is publish branch, what is root folder. Okay, so it's simple. So suppose I have developed one pipeline today. Okay, whenever let's talk about more functional thing, not a technical thing. Suppose today I got one requirement that I need to add a feature A to my pipeline. Okay, what I will do, as I said earlier, every code was maintained by the source control. In our case, it is a Azure DevOps Kit, correct? So what I need to do, I will. So I directly I don't want to, because I don't want to touch the source code, right? Because multiple developers may have depends upon the source code. Okay, if I'm going to do a single small work. Okay, I don't want to because I since I this is a new development. Directly I should not touch my source code. What I need to do, first I will create my own branch. Okay, first I need to create my own branch that I call as a feature branch. Okay, I'm going to introduce one feature. So first I will create my feature branch. So next thing what I will do, I will pull all the code from my main branch. Okay, I will import what of the things I required from my main branch into my feature branch. Okay, so once everything is in my feature branch, then I will start writing my code in my feature branch. This feature branch, is the scope of this feature branch is only for me. okay, only for a particular developers who is involving in the development. So this is not visible, this is not exposed to all of the developers. And also it won't impact whenever I'm making any changes in this feature branch. It won't impact like other developers until I publish the feature branch. So so I will make my changes in my feature branch, I will test all the codes. Once my all the code is tested and I'm satisfied with my changes, then what I'll do, I will again push my changes into my collaboration branch. Collaboration is your main branch. Okay, I want to merge my changes into my main branch. Then only all developers will, okay, all developers can see the changes, right? So for that purpose, I want to merge my changes into my collaboration branch, which here it is a main branch. And once the main branch, okay, once the main branch have my changes, then from main branch I need to publish it, so that then only it will go to a live mode. Okay, so pushing the changes into the main branch or a collaboration branch doesn't mean that you published your changes or you promoted your changes into the live data factory or live code. Okay, it doesn't, till now it doesn't reach as a live code. So whatever the two-step process, one is feature branch, you need to merge your changes from feature to main branch. From main branch you need to publish it, then only it will go to a live code. Three-step process. Okay, first step, you need to create a feature branch, you will do all your step, you will do all your changes. Second step, you need to publish from feature branch to main branch. Third step, from main branch, do another kind of validation and publish it. So it will go to a data factory, live data factory, live code, it will touch at the live code in a third step. So this is how the things will work here. First, my collaboration branch is a main branch where I can publish from my main branch. I will do always publish from my main branch. So publish branch, this was this by default. My this by default ADF underscore publish branch will be created automatically for storing all the artifacts while publishing it. And the root folder, if you don't have any root folder, so root folder is also an important one where you can store all your pipeline informations in a JSON formats. Okay, root folder I will store easy cloud trip. You need not to go to your DevOps and create it, you can directly create it from here. Easy cloud trip root. Okay, cloud trip root. So I don't have any code from my existing resources. If you have any code already in your root under a root folder, you can do here. It will pull all the code here for you, and click on apply. Let's wait for a few minutes. Yes, done. Repo connected. So basically, my repo is got connected. If your repo configuration is having some issue, you won't get this message. Okay. So my repo is connected now. I'll go for this one. See if you basically, yeah, this I will explain you. Okay, as of now I'm in home. You do, if you are in the home, you won't see any repo connected things. If you go to author, there we can see. So now I have connected with my repo. Currently it is connected to a main branch. Since I don't have any branch, it is connected to my main branch. Okay, what I'll do, this is how you need to set up a repo. So this is